Hi, everyone, and welcome to Run the Dishwasher Twice, thoughts to help you have a more positive outlook. My name is Debbie Lannen, and I will be your host. Now, just a reminder, I'm not a therapist or a counselor. I'm just like you, trying to be happy in this crazy world we live in. Before we get started today, I would just like to thank you for sharing this podcast with your family and friends. When I started this a few months ago, I wasn't sure how many episodes I would do. I had never done a podcast before like this. So I get online and I will do a 5-minute broadcast. And then I wonder, is anyone even listening to these? So I look at, analytics, which I know nothing about. And it'll say 2 people listen to it. Okay, well, that's 2 more than I expected. And then the next time I'll look and there'll be 200 people. It's like there's no rhyme or reason, in my opinion, as to how this is working. But anyway, what does make me feel good is when I go somewhere and someone I know stops me and says, huh, your message really made a difference today. That makes me feel great because every one of these little 5-minute episodes isn't meant to change your life. It's just meant to maybe give you that little boost you needed during the day to get through the rest of your workday, or that little jolt that things aren't quite as bad as you thought they were. So that's my reason for doing these. Now, I would like to ask you, if you are listening and you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube or wherever you might be listening, drop a comment. That way, it gives me a little bit of feedback that I know someone is actually listening. So, anyway, that's just my request today. If you have time, just drop a comment, send me an email, whatever. But now, let's get on to what I was going to talk about today. One of my favorite actors in the entire world was Gene Kelly. Now, some of you younger listeners may not know who that was, but he was an amazing dancer. And one of his movies was Singin' in the Rain. Well, this popped up on my Facebook feed today, and it just kind of made me stop and think about life and rain and all that kind of things. It was just a picture of him dancing in the rain. And the quote that was on the clip I saw was, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain." Now, that is actually so true. Where I live, it rains almost every day. And sometimes, you think, oh, I can't go out. It's raining, but then you have to. That's kind of like life. Sometimes life seems so difficult that you just feel like you have a storm over your head and it stops you and you think, oh, it's so dark and it's so angry and mean. I just can't do it. But what that quote tells me is it's not how to get through the storm. It's learning how to dance in the storm. So I know that's kind of difficult, but the idea is maybe if you don't look at it as a storm, but as just water. It's just water. And what's water? Water is refreshing to you. Now, I'm not saying every huge storm in your life you can just kind of talk away, but stop and think about it. Maybe, and I've always said this before, if we change our outlook, we can change the outcome. So when those dark clouds start to gather and the mood starts changing, instead of thinking I'm going to sit and just hover under this darkness, maybe think about how you can dance in the rain. Turn it into a positive somehow. Think back to your childhood. How many times did we go outside to play and it started raining, and one of the best things to do was splash around in the puddles? Now, I know I'm not talking about huge storms with lightning and all of that. You had to go back inside. But if it was just raining, and I mean really raining hard, one of the most fun things to do in the entire world was splashing through those puddles. Or standing on the side of the road, and as a car drove by, it just like washed over you. You didn't like run from it. You stood there and you wanted it to happen. So that's kind of my idea for today. Instead of running from the storm clouds in your life, run through them, dance through them. There is brighter things on the other side, but somehow we have to get to that other side. So just stopping and freezing isn't going to get you past the storm. So push on, dance on. Just try and get through that storm because you know there's a brighter side on the other end. So that's kind of my idea for today. Just 5 minutes to maybe make your life just a little bit better. Give you that encouragement that you need to keep going in the rain. So remember, I will be here on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and you can always message me or comment on YouTube or on Anchor or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So please give me some feedback. Let me know that you're listening. And remember, run the dishwasher twice. Why not?